Europe just declared energy independence, and the catalyst was America's war in Iran. While the United States burns billions trying to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, Europe is executing a strategic pivot that permanently breaks its dependence on volatile fossil fuel imports. Norway now supplies 1/3 of the EU's total gas through stable pipeline infrastructure that bypasses global chokepoints entirely. Meanwhile, wind and solar generated more electricity than fossil fuels in the EU for the first time in 2025, marking a structural shift that the Iran crisis is now accelerating. The US war was supposed to secure energy supplies. Instead, it's proving that fossil fuel dependency is a geopolitical weapon, and Europe is walking away from the entire system. I'm Elif Hauseville on YouTube. I have a PhD in computer science, and I use data analysis to spot patterns in geopolitics and economics. When we dig into the publicly available data, the pattern becomes very clear. After Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022, Europe faced an energy crisis that forced a fundamental rethinking of supply chains. Russian gas imports dropped from over 150 billion cubic meters in 2021 to 40.9 billion cubic meters in 2025. That gap was filled primarily by Norway and US liquefied natural gas. Imports from Norway grew from 79.5 billion cubic meters to 97.2 billion cubic meters. US LNG imports tripled, jumping from 18.9 billion cubic meters to 79.4 over the same period. The strategy was diversification, never again dependent on one single supplier. And the Iran war just exposed which of those suppliers Europe can actually trust. US LNG tankers are rerouting to Asia, where prices are higher and buyers are desperate. American LNG is traded on spot markets, meaning suppliers direct cargoes towards the most competitive bids. When Asian markets panic and offer premium prices, US exporters follow the money. Norway's pipeline gas doesn't work that way, however. Pipelines lock in supply. A cubic meter of Norwegian gas flowing to Germany can't be diverted mid-route to South Korea because somebody else offered more cash. Geography creates reliability that LNG markets cannot really match. And if we look at what European policymakers are actually saying, the message is very consistent among all of them. The Iran crisis proves renewables and domestic energy sources are the only path to true security. RWE CEO Markus Kreber stated the imperative very clearly, and I'm quoting here, "The more we electrify, the less we import fossil fuels. The less we import, the more resilient we become." Climate activist Bill McKibben framed it even more directly. Another quote here, "Sunlight travels 93 million miles to reach the Earth, none of them through the Strait of Hormuz." This goes beyond climate goals. Energy sovereignty is now explicitly framed as national security. Norway is positioning itself as Europe's long-term energy partner in this transition. Norwegian energy minister confirmed Norway wants to be a stable supplier of oil and gas to Europe while the continent builds out renewable capacity. Norway's contracts are indexed to market prices, meaning as European gas prices spiked during the Iran crisis, Norwegian revenues climbed proportionally. But unlike US LNG exporters who can chase Asian premiums, Norway's pipeline infrastructure keeps that gas flowing to Europe regardless of spot market fluctuations. The physical constraints create strategic alignment that financial markets alone never could. And here's what most people miss when they read headlines about European energy prices, I think. Yes, Dutch TTF natural gas futures spiked, and yes, households are paying more, but Europe started building the infrastructure to escape this cycle years ago. In 2025, wind and solar capacity crossed the threshold where renewables generated more electricity than fossil fuels for the first time in EU history. That was not a temporary blip, it is a structural shift. Every gigawatt of wind capacity installed in the North Sea is a gigawatt of electricity that doesn't depend on Qatari LNG or Saudi crude. Every rooftop solar panel in Germany is energy that can't be held hostage by geopolitical chaos in the Persian Gulf. The financial mechanisms here create a reinforcing cycle. High fossil fuel prices make renewable investments more attractive. 7 EU energy ministers from Denmark, Finland, Latvia, Luxembourg, Netherlands, and Portugal called for accelerated clean energy investment in direct response to the Iran crisis. When gas prices double, the payback period on wind turbines halves. When oil hits $100 per barrel, electric vehicles look cheaper every single day. The Iran war isn't slowing Europe's energy transition, it is proving the case for acceleration. If you want to sharpen your ability to spot these structural shifts before they become obvious, my book, Awake: The Practice of Critical Thinking in an Age of Self-Lies, breaks down the frameworks for connecting geopolitical dots early. It's available in ebook and audiobook. Subscribers get 10% off, and there's a free chapter in the description below. Meanwhile, Europe's legal commitment to climate neutrality requires reducing emissions by at least 55% by 2030 as an intermediate step towards net zero by 2050. These are not aspirational targets anymore. They're essentially binding law backed by multi-billion euro investment commitments. Vattenfall alone is investing 165 billion Swedish kroner in wind capacity, solar power, battery grids, and new nuclear capacity. Multiply that across every major European energy company, and the scale becomes very clear. Europe is building the physical infrastructure to operate independent of fossil fuel imports. The US position becomes increasingly untenable. Washington launched a war to secure Middle Eastern energy flows, but the primary beneficiary is Norway, a European partner, and the primary long-term winner is renewable energy, which doesn't need military protection at all. American strategic reserves are depleting, 172 million barrels released with oil prices still climbing. US military deployment costs billions, and Europe is using the crisis to accelerate the exact transition that makes American fossil fuel exports less relevant every single year. From what I've seen working with economic systems so far, this creates a dangerous feedback loop for US influence. Energy exports were framed as tools of geopolitical strength meant to deepen ties with allies. But when those very exports get diverted to Asia for profit during a crisis, allies learn they cannot really rely on market-based suppliers. Norway's pipeline gas and domestic renewables become the stable alternatives. The more Europe invests in energy independence, the less leverage America has. The war in Iran was supposed to demonstrate American power, but instead it appears to be accelerating American irrelevance in European energy markets. Europe's gas storage levels are lower than recent years, 46 billion cubic meters at the end of February 2026 compared to 60 in 2025. That creates short-term vulnerability, yes, but the response isn't to beg for more LNG shipments from Texas. The response is instead a coordinated EU action on strategic reserves, demand reduction strategies, and accelerated storage refilling operations using Norwegian pipeline gas and renewable electricity. Every crisis response reinforces the infrastructure that makes the next crisis less severe. What comes next is predictable, I think. Europe will continue diversifying away from fossil imports. Norway will profit as a stable European supplier during the transition. Renewable capacity will probably keep growing because the economic case strengthens with every oil price spike. And the United States will likely discover that military dominance in the Middle East doesn't necessarily translate to energy influence in Europe when Europe is building systems that don't need the Middle Eastern oil at all. The Iran war was America's attempt to secure the old energy order. Europe is using it to build a new one. Norway is the bridge, renewables are the destination, and the Strait of Hormuz is becoming irrelevant to European energy security one wind turbine at a time. For more info on how the Iran war is reshaping global energy and currency systems, check out the video on your screen right now about how the petrodollar is dying as Iran only allows safe passage to ships that trade in yuan. Thank you all so much for watching, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.